We just received huge breaking news that one of Nebraska's best true freshmen, a 4-star recruit, is changing positions effective immediately. So in today's video, I'm going to give you my instant reaction. Who is this player? What's been going on behind the scenes? Why is he making this move? Is this a good decision, period? And everything else you need to know about this developing story. But not only that, he might not be the only one. There's been some rumors that a couple other true freshmen will follow and also change positions. I'm going to let you know who these guys are in this big time update. So really quick, if you're having a good day, because I know I am, hit that like button. Also, if you're a diehard Nebraska fan and you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? For breaking news just like this, daily Husker content, talking about your favorite team, it's a no-brainer. Takes 2 seconds. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. But without further ado, we have a lot to talk about. It's just been announced that one of Nebraska's best true freshmen, a former 4-star wide receiver, Oregon flip, Isaiah Mozee, is in the process of moving to running back. Now, this was actually leaked by Nebraska's newest running back commit, Jamarion. He was on a podcast recently at Heard at Sports with Damon Benning, and he was talking about how he was discussing things with all of Nebraska's running backs, and he said, and I quote, Isaiah Mozee is in the process of transitioning from wide receiver to running back. So it looks like in the fall for Nebraska, Isaiah Mozee will be playing a different position. So what does this mean? Is this actually the truth? Why are they doing this? Is this a good decision? We have a lot to talk about. Now, of course, we know that Isaiah Mozee, 6'1", of course, big time recruit. He's put on a lot of weight since he got to Lincoln. He got here a couple months ago at about 180. He's up to about 200, 210 at this point in time. So he's already put on about 20 pounds of muscle, which is absolutely absurd. But again, is this a good decision? And is he actually going to be a full-time running back? Now, the first thing I'll tell you is that I don't expect Isaiah Mozee to be a full, real deal running back. That's not really what's going to happen here. He's more so going to be a Deebo Samuel, a Wan'Dale Robinson, a Duck R, as they like to say, a wide back, as some will call it, a gadget player. Okay, he's going to be somebody who lines up along the backfield. He's also going to be on these jet sweeps. He's going to be a lot, in the slot. He's going to be returning kicks for the Huskers, returning punts. He's going to do just about everything. He's a complete utility knife. And this is why I told you guys time and time again in my spring ball nuggets videos that he was one of my MVPs all spring ball long. It's because of that positional flexibility. And that's why he was going to play more than Cortez, Mozee, more than Jamarion Parker, more than pretty much all these other true freshmen. And that's why Dana Holgorsen has said time and time again that he's likely going to play in all 12 games is because of that positional versatility. So will he be a full-time running back? Probably not. But again, when you look at his film from last year, there's a lot to be excited about. It really wasn't his catching ability that was exciting. It really wasn't his contested catch ability, his route running. It was his run after catch ability, his vision, the fact that he's lined up in the back from time to time, that he has a nice juke move to him, a nice spin move to him, that he can break tackle. So that was always the exciting part about his game. That's why it's not shocking that they're making this move to running back, that he is going to play a lot in the backfield. So again, do I expect this to be a full-time move? No. It's honestly, if you want to know the real reasoning behind this, it's actually a very strategic move by Dana Holgorsen. They're just trying to get him involved more because they're looking right now at this receiver core and they're saying, you know what, it's completely stacked. We have Dane Key, Nyziah Hunter, Jacory, Barney, Janiran, Bonner, Cortez, Mills, a couple other guys here. We just don't see a way where Isaiah's going to get on the field consistently. Then he looks at the running back core and says, you know what, this running back core is not very good. We have EJ and that's really about it. Why not move Isaiah Mozee to running back, get him on the field more? We know that we're going to be a pass-happy offense anyways, so he's going to be catching footballs. He's going to be blocking at a high level. We know he has that run after catch ability. We know he can put him on screens all the time. So they're just saying, you know what? We want Isaiah Mozee to get on the field more. Let's move him to running back. So is this a long-term move? Probably not. We've seen Nebraska do this in the past where, Janiran and Bonner, they'll move him to fullback for a year and move him back. So I think, when it's all said and done with Isaiah Mozee, he'll probably be a wide receiver going into year 2, year 3. But just probably for this year alone, he's going to be a gadget player. He's going to be somebody who lines up in the backfield. But just know, is he going to be full-time running back? That's not the expectation. It's going to be more of a Deebo Samuel type role, which I think is absolutely going to fit him. So, in my opinion, if you want my honest opinion, this is a really good move. This is a really good move. You get one of your game changers involved. You get him on the field. You get the ball in his hands. That's what I like about Dana Holgorsen. He's innovative. He's adaptive. He's not your old traditional head coach where it's like, oh, we recruited you to play this position. You're going to play this position until you leave here. Like, no, he's going to move you around, try to find a way to best utilize you. That's what we're doing here with Isaiah Mozee. So again, Duck R, wide out, whatever you want to call it, wide back, gadget, Deebo Samuel. He's going to be that. So really, really excited to see what he can do. But just expect Isaiah Mozee playing pretty much all 12 games. Pretty much guaranteed that he will not redshirt. So some interesting news there. I want to hear your thoughts about Isaiah Mozee moving to running back. At least that's what the expectation is. Shout out to Jamal Rule for the inside info. But you know what? He might not be the only one. There's been some rumors that a couple other guys will follow. Let's talk about some other true freshmen that I could see changing positions going into fall ball, or at least going into year 2. Now, Jeremiah Jones is somebody who is such an interesting story. And honestly, you go back to, I mean, let's go behind the scenes here. Let's just unveil the curtain. When he initially committed to Nebraska, he wanted to be a safety. That's what Nebraska was recruiting to play. But the reason why he almost flipped to Missouri last second, and Nebraska got him last second, is because he wanted to play wide receiver. He changed his mind. He's like, you know what, Missouri, they're recruiting me to play wide receiver. That's why I'm really intrigued in Missouri. So the reason why Nebraska ended up getting him on signing day and retaining his commitment was because of 2 reasons. Number one, they gave him an absurd amount of NIL money. He's getting paid, I think, as much as any other true freshman on this roster. So that's number one. But number 2 is because Nebraska promised him, you said, you know what, we're going to have you play with receiver instead, because that's what you want to play. But here's an ultimatum. Jeremiah Jones, they made this deal with him, like, you know, if you don't work out at wide receiver, if we don't see where you're going on the field, we're going to move to safety, because that's where we think your upside is. That's where we think you can get to the NFL at. So Jeremiah Jones is somebody who I think is kind of on a short leash a little bit, where, you know, he is such a freak athlete. I compare him to Michael Terch all the time. He played every single position in high school, whether it was quarterback, running back, wide receiver, DB, safety, doesn't matter. He played all of it. Jeremiah Jones is somebody where, again, if he doesn't get on the field within year 1, they might just say, you know what, we want you to play safety. And honestly, I think that's a better place for him because of his downhill ability. He's a freak athlete, runs a 4.4, he's 6'4". You like that height on him. He has great ball skills already, great vision. So I think Jeremiah Jones, he's best suited for safety. I would love him at wide receiver. He's like a better version of Malachi Coleman. He's just incredible. He's a freak athlete. But if it doesn't work out, I would love him to move to safety. So we'll watch out for that, because I think that's an expectation with the coaching staff. He's on a short leash, and they're probably going to move him there. But a couple other guys that I would watch out for within this year, next year, potentially move. Jackson Carpenter, somebody who, of course, wide receiver coming in from Lincoln. Again, a lot of wide receivers here who we think could change positions, but this is somebody who, once again, he was only 6'1", 190. He was honestly better at linebacker throughout his career. So I could very well see Jackson Carpenter, if he doesn't get on the field, which I think is probably a big reality, them to move him to linebacker as his career progresses, which I think is probably a very good move with his upside. So just watch out for that when it comes to Jackson Carpenter, potentially move him. He is honestly pretty speedy, has some nice athleticism, but would imagine he probably ends his career at linebacker. And then one other guy who honestly watch out for is a DB, but he might move to wide receiver. This is Tanner Terch. I liked him a lot more at wide out. He's a guy who runs a 4.4, great ball skills, can go up and get jump balls. His route running was honestly pretty polished, but Nebraska, they thought his upside was better at nickel, at safety. I could very well see them use Tanner Terch kind of like a gadget player, put him in the slot a little bit. We've had kind of like a Jordan Westerkamp, honestly. I could see him. He has great hands, just like Jordy. So I think Tanner Terch could be a little bit of a Jordan Westerkamp. Wouldn't be surprised at some point in his career if they move him back to receiver, which was his natural position back in high school. Again, they're keeping their options open. Nebraska, they're very open-minded, which is a great thing with Matt Rule, Dana Holgerson, John Butler. So we'll watch out for this one as well. So a lot of true freshmen that could potentially move in. I'm excited, though. I'm excited about seeing what Isaiah Mozee can do as a true freshman, along with him and Cortez Mills. But any way we can get this guy in the field more than what he would be, man, I'm excited. I think this is a good decision. We needed kind of a Wan'Dale Robinson type guy. That's what we get here with Isaiah Mozee. So, all right, guys, let me know your thoughts down below. Hey, if you made this far of the video, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe. As always, folks, go be great and go my role. And I'll see you in the next one.